Hi, this is Matt with Inmate Search Info. Today we're going to take a look at how to find Maine inmates. And to do that, we're going to visit the Maine Department of Corrections, where they have a prisoner search page. The prisoner search for the state of Maine includes not only those who are incarcerated in prison, but also those who are a part of the system or in community, as Maine calls it. So you do get a little bit of a broader net than just those that are incarcerated, which means that your results are going to be a little bit larger than they might be in other states where they're only showing you people in the prison population. However, the state of Maine doesn't have a huge offender population, so it's not like you have thousands and thousands of results for every search you put through, so it's actually pretty good. In addition, you also do have a number of filters for your search, which is useful if you're trying to narrow down the person. If you only have a name, for instance, instead of the Maine Department of Corrections number, which would take you directly to that person, you can further narrow it down by an age range if you think it's someone in their 20s or know it's someone in their 20s, even if you don't have a precise date of birth or whatever the case is. You can do that. Additionally, there are other things you can use, including the location where you think they might be, or what prison they're in. Again, you can narrow down your results pretty significantly. But again, because the population isn't huge, I would only suggest entering in the bare minimum amount of information so that you kind of are able to get the results that you're looking for without ruling anybody out that might be the actual target of your search. In the case of a state where there's a huge prison population, like Florida or California, I would usually try to use every filter available, but in Maine, it's not quite so critical. So we're just going to do this search for John Smith. Would normally be a very common name that would require some filtering, but in Maine, as you'll see, it's not, you don't get a ton of results for that. One nice thing that Maine does is that they do give you photos where available. Not every state does that, so it makes it a little bit harder for identification purposes sometimes. But even on this initial results page, you do get a little thumbnail. You do get this date of birth and the possible release date, which and as well as the full name. In this case, we're probably looking at an AKA because we have this sort of partial, there's the John in there from our John Smith search, but they've obviously included him for other reasons than an exact name result search. So we're going to click on that Maine DOC number and take a look at the rest of the profile. So again, the full first name, this is information that was on the first page. There you go. So there's the alias, the John Smith alias. So they include that whether you intend to or not. And that can be useful because obviously you may only know them by their alias rather than their given name, which in the case of this person is a little different. You're able to see the facility where they're incarcerated, if they are incarcerated. If they are in community, as they call it, when they're out sort of, or on probation, you are able to see I believe the office where they're reporting to or the district where they have to report to, but you don't get obviously a specific location because they're not pinned down to a specific location except for reporting. They don't give you a link to the facility. There aren't that many Maine prisons, but at least you have a name, so that gives you something to go on. That in conjunction with the Maine DOC number is probably all you would need to arrange visitation or correspondence, whatever it is you want to do. And then further down, they do give you a link to a money deposit service. So if that's what you're trying to do, you're able to do that right on their page, which again is useful because not every state offers that. Again, a few more details about we had this release date on that first page, a few more details about the person, some descriptors. So again, if the picture itself is not enough to go on, you're able to get a few more details that will hopefully help you determine that you've got the correct person. And then some information about the convictions. Obviously, in this case, it's pretty straightforward what it is. In some instances, it's maybe not quite as clear as to what the conviction may have been for, but they do give you this docket number, so you could potentially do further research in the case of an inmate where you want to know more about the crime that was committed. And that's pretty much everything for finding an inmate in the state of Maine, which would also include those that are in the system for other reasons. For a direct link to this Department of Corrections search, as well as other kinds of offender searches available in Maine, helpful tips, links, step-by-step instructions, background checks, everything to do with Maine and the criminal system, please visit our Maine page, which you'll find in the description below. Thanks very much for watching.